Welcome back to the Soar Hire podcast, a show for leaders by leaders. It's focused on providing business and career advice, tools, and resources to people all over the world to help them achieve higher levels of success. I'm your host, Coach Jason Ballard, and welcome back to the show, everybody. Today, we have a really fun, exciting, cool show lined up for you. We have a very, very special guest, good friend of mine that I'm going to introduce here in a minute. This show is about the holiday season. It's about giving back. This is the time of year where we reflect and we give thanks for all the blessings we've received. This is a time of year to count our blessings and also help other people be blessed by the things that we can do to give back to them. Whether you're ringing a bell in front of a Walmart for, charitable organizations, whether you're volunteering your time at church, lots and lots of ways to give back. But there's one specific organization that I really, truly love. It's local to my community. I know these people really, really well, and just love working with them and love being a part of their mission and what they're about. And that is SPARC Hope. Today we have as our guest, Laura Wingfield, who's the CEO of SPARC Hope on the show. Laura, welcome.
Thanks for having me today, Jason. This is just a great time of year for us to be able to get out there and let people know who we are. So I appreciate you thinking about us.
Well, you're always on my mind. I'm always, out and about in the community, out in the world, doing what I do. And it's about relationships. It's about community. It's about, people coming together for the common good of everybody in the community. As they say, when the tide rises, all boats float. And I think at this time of year, at Christmas, this is the season to help other people rise their tide, help them rise their boat in the harbor so they can be successful. They have an opportunity for hope, for a better tomorrow. And you guys do that for them. So Laura, tell us, introduce yourself. Tell us about you and SPARC Hope and what all you do and all that good stuff.
Okay, thanks. Well, my name's Laura Wingfield, and as you said, I'm the executive director here at SPARC Hope, and I've been here since February of 2013. But I've been involved with SPARC Hope from the very beginning. It started in January of 2003, and its name back then was called Mom's Closet Resource Center. It was started out of a kingdom assignment. Sheila Day was given a $100 bill and was told to pray over it and see what God wanted her to do with that money. And she felt like she needed to start an organization for moms, for single moms. So it started out being a clothes closet, almost like a Dress for Success, hence the name Mom's Closet Resource Center. And so she was helping them, get dressed and sending them out on job interviews and things like that. And then she determined very quickly that she was sending them out on these job interviews, but then she was sending them home hungry. So then she added a food pantry to the center. And then after about a year, she felt like she was really being a hand out, not a hand up. And she really didn't like that. So she wanted to try to figure out how could she really make a difference in these single parents' lives. So she started what was called the Life Plan, still called the Life Plan today. And it's where when a single parent is working at least 20 hours a week and going to school at least half time at a college, trade school, university, they can become part of our program. And when they become part of our program, we help them, we walk with them the whole time they're in school. So some clients may think they're going to come in and get an associate's degree. And then once they realize that they can make more money if they get their bachelor's, they'll keep going. And then they've gone and get their master's, and they've gone all the way and gotten their doctorate. So it's really neat to watch what they can accomplish. And while they're in our program, they receive things like we have an on-site grocery store. So they can go grocery shopping totally fee-free. And so you can imagine how much that saves them, especially in today's economy. They can also, we help them financially. And so we kind of do a budget with them when they come in, and we kind of figure out where they're at and see how much we can assist them with each month. A big thing, like you mentioned today, is this season is the holiday season. So we help them with every holiday through the year. So Christmas is a big time for us to make sure that all these families have Christmas taken care of for them, because that's a huge, huge budget buster for these families. And then we also kind of help them with other things. We help them with financial planning. We help them with, we just did a seminar the other night with Katie from White Picket, where she was teaching them what they need to do to prepare when they want to buy a home and the things they need to look for. So we try to just come along and walk beside them the entire time that they're in school. And then we also walk with them once they graduate. We walk with them for 6 months afterwards, so they can transition out, whether it be a new job, whether they find a better place to live, or whatever that is. So we walk with these clients. Gosh, some of our clients are with us a year, and some of our clients are with us 6 years. So
Wow.
it's a wonderful thing that we do. I was fortunate enough when SPARC Hope started, I was on staff with Northeast Christian Church. So I was part of SPARC Hope, Mom's Closet at that time when it started. And then in 2013, Sheila asked me to come over and kind of run Mom's Closet. So that's when I moved over here, and it's just been a joy. It's just been a joy to watch how hard these single parents work to make a better life for themselves.
Yeah.
Because you can imagine how busy we are, and so these clients, they are single parents. Some of them have one child, some of them have 4 children, and then they are working. And a lot of them, even though we say they have to work 20 hours a week, some of them are working 40 hours because it's just what they have to do to be able to live and going to school and trying to be a single parent. So you can imagine how busy their lives are, So it's fun to watch them go through these changes as they walk with us. And then it's just great to watch them after they graduate and they get that new job that's their forever job. And then they can stand on their own 2 feet. And many of them come back and serve with us. I just love this story. Our board chair right now, her name's Annie. She was a client of ours. She graduated, she went to work for a law firm, and now she owns her own law firm. And so she gives
Oh,
back
wow.
to us as being our board chair. Yes, so it's just story after story like that. It's so fun to watch.
That is amazing. Um, and there's such a need out there. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
realize until I started, connecting with you and working with you, over time, what the real true needs are in the community.
Yeah.
Folks are struggling, especially the past few years, with
Oh,
COVID and layoffs and people getting sick and all
mm-hmm.
the dynamics we've had to go through over the past number of years. It's
Yeah.
really put some stress on people. And, I just couldn't imagine if your organization wasn't around, where would these people go? Who would help them?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, and you know what's so neat is that because we do require them to work 20 hours a week, we want them to have a little skin in the game to do this, and
Yeah.
we have to have them do that for us to be able to support them the way we do. But because of the fact that we do require them to work, a lot of our clients, they don't get any assistance at all. So because they make just a little bit over that poverty line, so now they don't get any government assistance. So they don't get any food stamps. They don't get any rent assistance. They don't get any child care assistance. But yet they're not at that dream job yet. They're not making that income that they need to support themselves and their families. So a lot of times, by the time some of these clients figure out who we are and that we're here and can help, they're already ready to quit school because they don't think they can do it. They need to go back and work more hours. And so when they find us, I can't tell you how many times we're sitting around a table after an interview and the tears just start flowing because, we're kind of like a lifeline. We give them hope.
Mm.
And with the assistance that we can provide them, then that lets them to be able to go on and keep working and keep, keeping their focus on school because we just take a little of that stress off and a little of that burden off. As you can imagine,
Mm.
grocery prices have just skyrocketed this year.
Yeah.
So, just being able to come into our pantry, I mean, I invite anybody to come over and look at our pantry. It is not a pantry, you all. It's like a mini on-site Kroger because I mean, it's got everything in it. So they get all of that for free. So they come in and they can get, I always laugh, but they get paper products, toilet paper, paper towels. That sounds silly, but that can be an expense. And then think about laundry detergent and cleaning supplies and garbage bags, over-the-counter pharmacy items. That can cost some money. So they get
Yep.
all of that free for us, and we have a great partnership with Dare to Care. So we can go in and order things and have food brought into us. So it has really increased the meat supply that we can give them. So we get hams and turkeys and chicken. And so that's all free to them as well. So some of these clients, it can save them $500 or $600 a month just in groceries alone. So that's
Wow.
a big help to them.
That's a lot of money. I mean, and by
Yes,
today's standards, that is a lot of money, especially per month.
yes,
Um, but I want to go back, make sure we're clear for folks that are listening that are thinking about contributing to a worthwhile cause out there. I always found it to be really hard to
hmm
want to help, want to contribute, but who do you do that to? I remember when I was in the military, we had the CFC, the Combined Federal Campaign, I think's what that stands for, and they'd have people come around that were representatives of the organization, and they give you these big kind of like booklets or whatever, and there's thousands of charities in there, from the big ones to the small ones, and they break all this stuff down, and you're looking at this like, oh my gosh, I have no idea which one I want to connect with. Some of them I knew, some of them I didn't. Like Wounded Warrior was a big one, and
yeah,
United Way was a big one, and that's great. But a lot of those have like a lot of administrative fees, and some of these
mhm,
things, some of these charity organizations have had some management issues, we'll say,
yeah,
right? And it's like, how do you trust some of this if you don't know them? And
right,
so what I love about you guys is, you're kind of grassroots level. You're not this
yeah,
big, huge organization with all these administrative overcost. When you give of your time or your money or whatever to your organization, it all goes to the people in need, and you can see it go to the people
yeah,
in need, versus just kind of writing a check and hoping it does something good in the community with some of these other organizations. And I think a lot of people that want to give and donate and do something nice and good in the world, they just don't know who to trust and
right.
where to go with that. And that's one of the things I love about your organization.
And we try to be very authentic and we try to be very transparent. So I was very blessed to have a great marketing team come along beside me. So we've got great websites, we've got great social media, and on the bottom of all of our pages, it has all of our credentials, like we're Guide Star Gold sealed, we're BBB certified, and that's on our website. We keep every year we do an annual report where we put our 990 right on our website. Anybody can see it, and then
Nice.
we put all of our stats on there. So, because I think that's very important to people, they want to know that the money's being used for the programs,
That's right.
and because we're a small organization, our staff is even small. I think I'm the only full-time employee right now, and then I've got 5 other employees, and they're all part-time. So sometimes I feel like I'm working them to death, but they all love it here, and they love what we do, and they love our mission. So they work really hard with me, alongside me. And the other great thing about us is, like I said, we are a small organization. But what I think is so neat about what we do is there aren't many organizations like us out there that actually work with single parents. I know that we're out there, and I think Family Scholar House is out there, but we're the only two that I know of that work directly with single parents. And if you think about that, Jason, I don't think that there's hardly anybody that can say that they don't know a single parent or have some kind of contact with a single parent these days. You know what I mean?
That's
So
right.
it's such a huge reality out there. And so I just think that it's so neat for us to be able to help that group of people. I know even as a nonprofit, you go out and you try to get grants and try to get different things, and they'll always have you check a category. Well, we're kind of like, where do we fit? Because there's nothing out there that says single parents. So we're like, oh well, we try to help with finances, and we're trying to help the family, and we're trying to help with the food, and we're trying to help with the financial part. So it's just kind of like this big thing that we are working on. And I always say Ruthie always says we're one of the best kept secrets out there, because we're a small organization. But
Yeah.
Even as small as we are, we're getting a little bigger each year. And the more our marketing gets out there, the more our social gets out there, the more people that bring me on to podcasts and things, the more people are learning about who we are, which is great, and it helps us twofold. One is people that are wanting to invest in a company that they feel, invested in, and to be part of. But the other one is also for clients to find us. There's so many single parents out there. Like I said, by the time they find us, they're ready to give up because they didn't realize there was an organization out there like us to help them.
Yeah.
I kind of look at us as like almost like a second tier ministry. You have all these wonderful, wonderful ministries out there that, help get people off the street and get them an apartment and get them food. But at some point, they got to take that next step. They've got to be able to do something to be able to educate themselves so that they can get employed, so that they can be able to take care of themselves and their families and not live on that assistance. And I feel like that's what we are. And there's not many organizations out there that are like that, I don't think, that are that second tier
Nope.
to help that person get to that next level. I'm can you tell I'm passionate about what we do?
Just a little bit, which is great.
Yeah.
I think if you don't have passion for something, then what are you living for? What are you waking up
Yeah.
and doing every day? Then are you just wasting
Yeah.
your time, and you and all of your team, all the folks affiliated with Spark Hope, that are your partners, your board members, and
Yeah.
the volunteers, and all the folks that rally around, the folks that you're working with. Everybody's passionate. Everybody just truly cares. So, Laura, if I'm a single parent out there, or I know somebody that may be a single parent, how do I know if I qualify? How do I know if I should call you and talk to you about, needing assistance? Break down the credentials and the criteria for what allows somebody to work with you or not.
Yes.
Because you mentioned earlier, what if I'm a male and I'm a
Yeah.
single parent that has two kids? Can you work with me, or just the females?
No, single dads too. I'm glad you asked
Good.
that. Back in 2019, when we were Mom's Closet Resource Center, we realized we were getting a lot of calls from single dads. I think some of the laws had changed in Kentucky, and there were a lot more single dads stepping up and taking care of their kids. And I was getting those rumblings out there. Well, there's nothing out there for single dads. And we were getting phone calls from single dads. So
Hmm.
that's when we changed our name from Mom's Closet Resource Center to Spark Hope, which that took a lot to change that name. That's a whole process when you're going through rebranding.
Yeah.
But we wanted Mom's Closet Resource Center. We always called it MCRC. So we wanted to do something similar. So we did SPARC with a C, Single Parent Resource Center, Hope. Then we wanted to put the name Hope on there because we really felt like that's what we gave people, was hope.
Yep.
So it is for single moms and single dads. We currently don't have any single dads in our program, but we feel like when we get out there and start hitting those trade schools, we're going to see more single
Yep.
dads in our program. So usually what we tell people is the best thing they can do is go to our website. There's a need assistance tab. And when they fill that out, it just asks some really general questions. Are you going to school? Are you working? What's your situation? What assistance do you need? Are you looking for rent assistance? Are you looking for utility assistance? What is it that you need? When that comes into our office, we review that intake form. And if it looks like that they automatically qualify, which is working 20 hours a week, going to school at least half time, and I don't have the way to say this, not cohabitating with a significant other. That's what makes you single. Okay, that's what makes you single. So if you meet those
So you're
first three,
truly single. Yeah.
yeah,
Not
truly single.
married, just single.
Right,
All
right.
right.
So those three things, once we verify that information, then we go on and set you up for an interview so you can come in and we can try to get you into the program. If you don't meet those qualifications, there's almost like these little different routes you can go. If you're going to school but not working and you want to work, we've got people that will help employ you while you're in school. If you're working but not going to school and you want to go to school, we have two gentlemen that are like, they're like our gurus when it comes to what could you do for your education. You know, how to have what's the best thing you can do to get the job you want and not come out of school in a lot of debt. So they help clients work through to see what they want to do insofar as getting themselves educated to go to that next level. And so we can work with them that way. And then if they just don't qualify at all, for there's multiple reasons why they don't, then we have a whole resource list where we give that to them. If they need rent assistance, we tell them where they can go in their area. We tell them where their community ministries are. We had somebody send us something the other day that was just, she was in a domestic violence situation. So we gave her the resources she needed to get through that. So, because a lot of times people will call us, and we really aren't a crisis ministry, but a lot of times when people call, they are in crisis. It's just what it is. So
Yep.
we try to give them the resources they need to get them where they need to be, even though they may not be a good fit for our program right now. They may come back around and be a good fit for our
Well,
program.
that's
So we want to
true.
help them. Yeah, so we want to help them the best we can. So, like right now, we have 25 clients in our program, and we're helping 25 parents and 49 children. We have, I think I just processed 8 new intakes this weekend.
Wow.
Um, and we probably resourced out another maybe 150 clients this year. Um, yeah, so
Goodness.
yeah, so the need is out there. You know, you always try to assess what you're doing and is the need there. And every year, at the end of the year, when we look at all of our numbers, we're like, yeah, the need's still there because the phone calls are still coming.
Well, I think the needs are always going to be there. With the divorce rates and all the
Mm-hmm.
things going on in our country today, I think the needs are always going to be there. And I think the needs are always greater than what we think they are. I think there's just a
Mm-hmm.
lot of unknowns and a lot of things we don't know about the community because it's a big community and you may not be plugged into every corner of it in the
Yeah,
ways that you know. And so the needs always outweigh the capabilities and the resources, and that's why you do what you do to
yeah,
completely understand those needs and be connected to the community and be a channel to help and to resources for which you can work with them. So if you are out there and you are a single parent, or you know of someone, a friend, a family member, a neighbor, a colleague at work, whatever, that's single, has kids, man or woman, does not matter. You kind of pre-qualify, we'll call it, right?
yeah,
Where you need to go to the website. What is the website URL, Laura?
yeah. It's www.sparc with a C, SPARC hyphen hope, HOPE.org. And the minute you get to our website, I mean, you'll see right up at the top, there's our three things are need assistance. That's the first button you'll see. Donate. That's always a button you're going to see all over our website. And I think get involved or volunteering. So those are the three big buttons on our site.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're in or in that situation, whether you think you qualify or you don't qualify, go to spark-hope.org and sign up for a free consultation. They'll
Yes.
gladly welcome you in, put arms around you. They're some of the most warm and wonderful people you will meet, and they'll just have a conversation with you. And even if you don't qualify for some specific things that particular day, it doesn't mean you won't the next day or the next week or the next month or whatever that may be, because one of the requirements is, hey, you got to go to school for a certain amount of time, right? Well, a lot of people that are in need, they're like, yeah, I can't afford. I barely hold down a job, and I've got kids, and I got this and that and the other going on, and I'm barely making ends meet. I can't go to school. I haven't even tried to go to school. However, Laura and her team have access to professionals that really understand grants and scholarships and opportunities. There are educational institutions in every community, certainly here in Louisville, where where those institutions do earmark opportunities for people in these situations and
Mhm.
sometimes give away things. There's obviously state and federal aid and grants and scholarships. There are a lot of different things out there, whether you realize it or not. They're out there. You can go to school, you can work, you can do these things and go visit Spark Hope and receive some assistance through that process to help you, get more education, get more
Mhm.
skills, knowledge, and tools and resources for you to achieve your highest potential, for you to move into a nicer home or a better school system, and improve your overall quality of life. I think that's the ultimate takeaway here, if I'm not mistaken, Laura, is you are a spark of hope for people that can help channel them to a better quality of life. Is that right?
Absolutely, absolutely. There's a little gal on our website. Her name's Teresa, and she graduated from our program. And I tell you, there's a section in the video, you just can't say it any better, because she talks about the products of her education. And she said, with every degree I got, not on food stamps, living in a better house. So she just keeps going on about every degree and how it changed her life. And both of her kids, they've gone to college now. That her son's very successful business owner. Her other son is, I think, in engineering school. I mean, so you just got to see, and she'll say, you just got to see the products of my education. So that's just wonderful to see. And they can do it. And when they get to see that other people have done it, then it's like, oh, well, I can do that too. I can do that. So
Yeah.
it's great to watch.
Well, one of the things that I've taken away, and I want you to talk about this for a minute, in addition to giving them hope and resources, this is really about helping them confidence wise
Hmm.
to put a foot forward into a space they may or may not be comfortable in, and you're doing it with them,
Absolutely.
accountability wise, etc. Talk to us about why this works with these types of folks and this type of need. A lot of them are kind of timid and they don't want to ask for help.
Hmm.
They have some pride.
Uh-huh. It is very hard the very first time they come into an interview because we go over their budget with them. Because for us to be able to help them, we have to know what they got coming in, what they got going out. And then it's intimidating to have to just put all that out there to someone.
Right.
I always say, I don't want to be looking at my checkbook to see where I spent all my money last week. So yeah, we're asking them to do that. But once they realize that we're a judgment-free zone, there's no judgment here. We're just trying to see how we can help. Where do I need to come in alongside you to? Do I need to help you with your LG&E bill? Do I need to give you a gas card? What are the things I need to do to help you financially take some of that burden off so that you can keep your focus on school and things like that? So for somebody coming in, we go over budgets with them. When they come into the program, we sign a contract with them because we say, okay, this is what we can do for you, and this is what we expect of you in return. And so we kind of work that program together. And then when they come into the program, like I said, they have access to so many things. They have access to different resources insofar as financial assistance and things like that in the pantry. But there's also some accountability there. Like they have to call in once a week just to tell us how things are going. What's going on? Is everything okay? But believe it or not, one of the reasons we ask them to do that is we have access to so many things that can help them, and they forget.
Yeah.
We had a mom call in one day. She had flat tires. She hit something in the road, flat tire. She didn't have money to replace that tire because their budgets are pretty tight, So she was like, "Oh my gosh, Laura, where can I find somebody that'll give me this tire on credit?" And I'm thinking, "You're not going to find that." We just started going through all that. So we ended up, I sent her to Walmart. We bought her a tire, got it on her car so she could get on to work and get on to school. You know what I mean? So, one mom, her laptop died. So she said, "Oh, I'm going to go in debt. Go get, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Let's see if we can find you a laptop." We had a brand new client come in last week. She said, "I need bunk beds for my kids." I said, "What? Just let us try to find them." And within a week, we had her bunk beds for the kids. So that's kind of one of the reasons that we want them to call us weekly and check in with us. It's just through those simple conversations that you find out what's going on in their life, and we can jump in and assist them in ways that they just don't remember that we can do. So it's great for us because there's accountability there, but it's great for them too because we're building that relationship with them. It makes us feel more like family, somebody that they can lean on when things happen. So it's just accountability is just a huge part of our program, and I think that's part of why it works. But I also think that's why there's such a trust in the community in investing in us because they know there's a high amount of accountability in our program. They know that our clients are really working hard, and they know that we're keeping an eye on what's going on. So you can rest assured that your money is being spent wisely in helping these clients, and they are really working hard in trying to better their lives for themselves and their kids. So
Yeah, just, from my experience and seeing some of these folks go through your program and see where they are today, it's an absolute transformation in many, many ways. People get in these situations and they start kind of behind the scenes when they're home alone and they're worried about whether they're going to make ends meet or where they're going to turn for this or how this is going to work out. And they feel kind of defeated. They feel like they're not a good parent because they're not doing, what their neighbor down the road's doing is doing better than them. And they start feeling like judged, and that's almost in some people's mindsets, it's kind of like a spiral effect where they just kind of feel like they're getting defeated, like there's no way out. I'm doing the best I can. It's just not good enough. I just don't know what to do. I feel depressed, and I just don't know, but I know there's a better way. Well, at the end of the day, life is about making really good decisions. The best decisions you can make will put yourself in the best chances to succeed and achieve whatever it is you want to achieve, right? And so one thing I really love about your organization is it's about knowledge, right? You're helping empower people with knowledge and education and things that will help open their eyes to things they may not be aware of, and open up doors to partners in the community and other people that can fully wrap their arms around these people holistically, housing, food, clothing, school, whatever that may be, and holistically kind of take them in, take that stress off of them so they can focus. And when they were empowered by the hope that gives them, they're empowered by the knowledge and the skills and the things they get through that process. It just opens up other doors for them that may not have been there before. You just don't know what you don't know. And so if you're out there and or if you know of somebody that could be struggling, that could be a single parent that's trying to better themselves, they just don't know how, they're just not able to break through, this is a great organization to connect to, because they will completely take care of you and connect you, and you will be uh, 3 times better, if not 10 times or 100 times better than you were when you went to them on day one. That's just how these folks at Spark Hope think and operate. Their hearts, their souls is very Christian based, and everybody that goes through this program succeeds.
I tell you what, it was so funny. When you were talking, I was thinking about the situation. We had a gal that was graduating with her degree, and she was had an HR bent on her degree. So we had an event at Churchill Downs. It was our opening night event. So we had a lot of people there. Great event, by the way. We're having it again this year, opening night at Churchill. Really fun. So anyway, there was a gentleman there, and he owned his own company, and our mom got up and spoke that she was looking for an HR position. Well, he called me the next week to ask me if she was still looking for that HR position. Now, isn't that kind of neat how life works, you know?
Wow.
So that was really, I never will forget that, because I thought, who would have ever thought, here's somebody sitting out in my audience, just, having a good time at a Churchill Down event, and then realized that he could employ one of our moms. So that was really neat. That was really neat.
That's a great example of just getting out there and connecting with people. You don't know who knows who and
No.
what is going on in the world that's beyond your realm of the life that you live and what have you. Just a few weeks ago, I had a neighbor reach out and says, "Hey, my daughter's looking for this type of job, and she's been on a few interviews, and who do you know? How can you help her?" And
Yeah.
so I kind of put my skills to use and kind of jumped in there, connected some things up, and I got a text from the other day. It says, "Hey, she's in her second final interview with this one group that was looking for somebody just like her." And you just never know
No.
until you're connected. So I think as a beacon of hope in the community that you are, people just need to let their pride go and just walk in that door and have a
Mm-hmm.
conversation with you and be willing to just be open-minded, because it will open doors that you never even thought existed. It will open up potential you never even thought you had. And
Right.
then when the power of the law of attraction kicks in and like-minded people start connecting and talking, great things happen as a result. And um, I see this time and time and time again with
Mm-hmm.
people that are going through your programs. And
Right.
I think it's just wonderful. Talk to us as we kind of get into the Christmas season. What are some of the biggest things you're seeing in the community as far as needs? What are the things, if people want to help and contribute and connect with Spark Hope, how can they do that? What's the best way to do that? Um, how can we help you?
Yes. Well, right now we're wrapping up our Christmas drive, so I'm not sure how much people can do there, but I love this. We had 25 clients with their kids. We asked each one of them to give us a list, and what they were supposed to give us was something you want, something you need, something to wear, and something to read. And so we had
Nice.
each one of them give us that. We put it out on a sign up genius, which you can find on our website. But it was like 296 asks that we had, and we only have 41 that aren't sponsored right now. But I'll have those sponsored by tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. So what'll happen then is the week of December the 12th on, they will come in and they will pick up all of their presents for them and their children, and they will pick up their Christmas basket for dinner and stuff, and do pantry shopping. So that's almost wrapped up, but they can still get in under the wire if they want to help with that. Another way you can help is always, as you can imagine, I said we have that pantry, which is actually a Kroger store. There's always, you can imagine it's a constant need, because
Yep.
everybody comes and goes shopping. So I may be totally stocked right now, but wait till after they all go shopping, and then I'm empty again. So, and I always tell people to think about, a lot of times when you think pantry, you think, oh, I'm going to go get spaghetti and spaghetti sauce. But because we are like a Kroger, I'm always thinking when our D&I group, whenever they ask, what do you need? I'm like, toilet paper, paper towels, laundry detergent, over-the-counter pharmacy, because those are the things people don't think about donating to a pantry.
Yep.
But those are huge things that save them money. Um, I got to tell you the story. This was so neat. You just never know where things are coming from. There's a lady that lives in Anchorage, and every Christmas she does a tea with just a few of her friends that were like 100 ladies. And she said, she's done this for 20 years. And she said, you all can give. So every year she picks an organization, a charity organization that she's going to collect and give to. I didn't even know she called our office. I didn't even know she got a list of things we needed. She calls today and says, I had my tea this weekend. I need somebody to come over. I have 3 carloads full of items for your pantry. She was not kidding. She collected toilet paper and paper towels and cleaning products. And it was all the things I just mentioned that we need. I've got a whole big section of my pantry right now with all those items that need to be counted and stocked on my shelf. But she also collected cash donations. Jason, I almost flipped. She gave me $2,800 in checks and probably another 300 plus in Kroger cards, gas cards, and things like that. And she just brought them over today and just handed them to me and
Wow. What a
said,
blessing.
oh, and she said, I've still probably got more coming in. I'll bring them to you through the week. Um, so it's things like that you just go, oh my goodness. She saw us. She did a little bit of research on who we were and chose that that's how she wanted to give. So think about when you talk about like networking, she just used her group of friends, invited them to her tea, and look at what they did. Look at the big difference they're going to make in the lives of these single parents that we serve. Um, I was just blown away. I was just blown away,
Wow.
and people do stuff like that all the time. There's a new staffing agency in town. I think it's called Shurian, but they came in last week. They just called me and said, we get to donate $1,000 to a charity, and we found you. We love single parents. And so they came in and they donated a check to us last week for $1,000. It was like, oh my goodness. And WLKY came over and put us on the news, which that's great because that creates awareness for us.
Right.
So it was just a blessing all around. So it seems like during the holiday season, people just get very creative in thinking about things they can do to give back, and whether it be through presents for families, with us, items for the pantry. I had the FBI called me and they are doing a drive for me. Can you believe
That's
it?
that's not a
My girl
that's
in the
not a
office said,
phrase I hear very often. The FBI called me.
yeah, my girl in the office said, Laura, the FBI's on the phone for you. I'm like, what? But they have a community field office here and they wanted
Yep.
to do something for us. So they are going to do a food drive and they said, I don't think we can get it to you before Christmas. I said, that's perfectly okay because after Christmas hits, I'm going to be wiped out and January is going to hit and I've got to start all over again. So they're going to bring me the things that they collect in their food drive. They're going to bring that to me after the first of the year. So you just never know. You just never know what people can do. But I tell you what, I would be in trouble if I didn't say, we are also in the middle of my whole thing is Christmas right now. I get so stoked about helping our families for Christmas. And so I got to get past that. But my development girl is looking at end of year giving. And there's a lot of people thinking about their end of year giving right now. And so our goal this year is to raise $50,000 for end of the year giving. So
Nice.
anybody that has to, there's just people that have to take that money out and they have to invest somewhere. So if you're looking for a place to invest, we would love to be that place. And it's very easy to donate to us. If you go on our website, there's a donation tab and there's one that's marked end of year giving. And so you can go in there and donate that way. But it's very easy to give to us. And we would love to be your charity of choice for your end of the year giving. So if
Yeah.
that's something that somebody could do, that would be wonderful.
And that's tax deductible too
Yes.
for most folks.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're out there and you are a single parent or somebody that's a single parent, just connect with Spark Hope and just have a conversation with them. If you're not a single parent and you're looking to help, donate, contribute, give back, do anything whatsoever, this is a great, legitimate, open, honest, good-hearted, Christian-based organization to give to. You can give by donating goods and food and sundries and toiletries and all of that to their pantry. You can give by donating money. They've got very specific campaign running for Christmas, as Laura just depicted, but you can give money in many different ways through their website. I think there's another way people can give too, you haven't mentioned yet. What about volunteering? What if people just want to come down and deliver Christmas presents to people with your team, or volunteer to stock the pantries or work in the office? Talk to us about your volunteer opportunities.
Absolutely. And we always try to look at each individual, because we want, if you come to serve with us, we want you to love what you do. So we want you to be able to serve in your wheelhouse. I've had people that come to me before and they've been like office administrators, but when they come over here, they don't want to do that. They don't want to touch a phone. They want to go work in the pantry. They just want to stock and things. So we want you to be happy where you serve. And there's so many ways to serve here. And we also have a get involved part in our website. But there's so many different ways. You can either come into the office, you can work in the pantry, you can work in the office, you can work on committees. We have a finance committee, we have an events committee, we have a development committee. You can work in the office. One of my always needs, if anybody is listening out there and they're a data analytics kind of person, I am hurting really bad there. That's not our strong suit. So that would always help us a ton. But there's just so many ways that you can volunteer and use your gifts. So one of the first things we do is we try to get people to go to the website. There's a volunteer application. We try to get you to come in and talk with us so we can see how you want to serve, what best suits you time-wise, and do you want to come in the office? Do you not want to come in the office? Is there other ways you can serve? And we always try to get people to come in. We do tours the third Thursday of every month. And so we always try to get people to come and do a tour. It's Jason, there's nothing like super special about our office, but there's something about when somebody comes through the door and they take a tour, it really makes their brain start thinking about what we do, why we do, and people can come up with some wonderful ideas, things that we've not thought of that we can start implementing here. So I just love when people come and do a tour so they can look. And one time we had somebody come in and they said, have you ever met with the wild game people about getting, venison and stuff in your freezers for their clients? And I went, no, I had not done that. So that was an opportunity. We had somebody that one of our volunteers come in, and she heard me talking about having to spend $500 a month in diapers just for the 9 clients that we serve. She got online and started researching. There's a diaper bank here in Louisville that I did not know about. She got me the information. We filled out the application. We get to start next month where they're going to supply the diapers that we need.
Oh my gosh.
You just never know what people can come up with to help you. Because like you, I've got to get the money in the door, or I've got to find resources to help me save my dollars going out the door. So people are wonderfully connected here in town and can find me resources that help me save money, but also help build up our clients. So
Yep.
I just love it. So I always try to get people to come in, and even if they can't do the Thursday tour, we do individual tours all the time. Anybody that wants to come by here, we can do an individual tour and let them see how best they want to serve. Last thing I want to do is stick somebody in a hole and then they don't feel like they're contributing or that they're making a difference, because they won't want to serve with us anymore. And because we're a small staff, we really rely heavily on volunteers. So we want to make sure that it's a fit for you and it's a fit for us when you come to volunteer. And there's so many different ways to volunteer.
That's excellent. I love it. By the way, I know many people in the technology space. I know many people that do data analytics kind of work. So I should be able to introduce you to a few folks myself.
Yes.
If you're out there listening and you know some folks, send them Laura's way as well. But that's, what we're talking about here is community, the power of people. When you bring people together from different walks of life, doesn't matter who they are, what their income levels are, their background, their heritage, none of that matters. When you bring people together for a common good cause of just being good human beings, special things happen. And you have certainly shined a light on that today, just with your testimony and the testimony of the folks that you're working with, just doing amazing things. And so, Laura, as we kind of wrap up today, I'm just honored and privileged to be, a friend of yours and a part of this community. And I'm also planning to pledge a significant contribution to SPARC Hope as we conclude today's podcast. I'm going to go online and do that. And of course, I see you on a regular basis anyway. Do things that I can do to do my part again to help you and in the ways that we can help you. So as we conclude, Laura, tell the audience how they can get a hold of you if they want to come, if they're local to Louisville, Kentucky. How do they find you? What's your address?
Yes. We are located in Middletown off of Evergreen, and our address is 11921 Brindley Avenue, Suite 101, 40243. My email is Laura, Laura, at SPARC with a C, SPARC hope.org. And our phone number here at the office is 502-245-9899. And believe you me, I know I drive my staff crazy, but if you come in the door and want to meet with me, we'll sit down and have a chat.
That's awesome. And again, your website again is spark-hope.org, right?
Yes. And you
Awesome.
can get all kinds of information off of there. And if you want to go see some great social media things, you can go to our Facebook page. You can go to our Instagram page. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, she's just started putting us out on TikTok. So
Nice.
if you want to go see some fun things, you go out there and check that out because she does a great job with our social.
I tell you, they are some of the most creative and innovative people in the realm of marketing, with just, little resources around them. They've got some really good marketing, great videos, testimonials, real stories of people that they've helped and worked with. And they do some like fun things too. That's just really, really funny and cute. It's amazing group of people. Laura, thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for your heart and your dedication to, serving others. You know,
And thank you for doing this for us. But I want to put in a plug for you too, Jason, because I met Jason in a BNI group, and he is an awesome business coach. And when I was struggling through trying to get my arms wrapped around some of this, Jason worked with me to help me. So, Jason, I can't thank you enough. You've always been a huge supporter, not just of SPARC, but of me individually. And so I know your heart. I know your heart for people, and I know your heart for leadership. And I know your heart for just helping people, anybody, get to that next place in being successful. So I just want to thank you for everything you've done for us at SPARC, but also for me individually. So I appreciate that.
well, thank you so much. That means a lot coming from you. You've certainly become a really good friend, and I've enjoyed our relationship and continue to walk with you in whatever ways we need to walk together to do good in the world. The world needs people to come together. The world needs good people with good hearts and good intentions to continue to help others that may not be able to help themselves as much as they'd like to. And everybody goes through ups and downs in life. Everybody goes through struggles. I've certainly gone through mine in life. And if it wasn't for other people in my life that were there, that God, I think, intentionally placed there, I might not be where I'm at today, be able to do some of the things that I'm able to do. And I know you have a a strong testimony there as well. But,
Yeah.
you know, it just takes a special person to do what you do and to give on the level that you give in this community. And you've touched so many lives. So just thank you so much for that. And God bless you and your team during the holiday season. And I just, again, I encourage everybody to connect with Spark Hope, whether you want to volunteer, whether you could potentially, benefit from their services as a client or anything in between. Great organization to be a part of. Track them, like them, follow them
Yes.
on all the major
Yes.
channels. They're just doing some amazing things. And Laura, wonderful time with you today. Thank you so
Yes.
much. And Merry Christmas to you and your team. That's it for the show today. Look forward to seeing you next week on Soar Higher Podcast. God bless. Talk to you next week.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, everybody.